This is day 3 of the Ultimate 10-Ball Championship, and we are bringing you live coverage all day. Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Mark Wilson. My partner here is Joey Augustin. Big match here, Ava Lawrence versus Ming Chen. What do you expect to see here, Joey?
Well, I had the privilege of watching Ming Chen play last night, and I'm so impressed with her. I think we're going to see her up at the very top of this tournament at the end. She's got incredible fundamentals. She plays as well as any woman that I've seen in this event. Ava Lawrence is a champion in her own right. She's got her work cut out.
Yeah, David's Hall of Famer, that says it all right there. Sponsored by Brunswick, been with them for many, many years. She won a major tournament just a couple of years ago, maybe about 18 months ago, I guess it was. And that's saying something on the women's side of the thing with everybody from Asia and Europe now here. Wasn't so difficult many years ago, and it was just Americans. But this is a worldwide game. Ava's won the lag. We'll be breaking first. This is a race to 7 10-ball. Just to refresh everybody, this is a little bit different rules. It's a call shot game. All ball fouls. We have referees. Relatively huge money at stake. 10-ball action.
10-ball on the break. Spots back up immediately.
Early morning, pool players don't much care for these 9 a.m. rounds. Quite a bit of ball action. No fortune. Ava now asks the referee to remove the magic rack. We're using the magic rack. Rack for yourself. Yeah, no, this won't be easy to get it off. It looks like the 10-ball's sitting actually right on the magic rack. And he was able to withdraw it. So she's calling the 1 ball on the side. Got the 8 to help just a little bit. She can bring the cue ball across the table behind the 2. Hit the point on the way in.
There's a possibility that Ava may be able to make this 1 ball in the side pocket off from the 7. I can't see the exact tangent line here, but it's a possibility. Otherwise, she'll be playing a safety to hide behind the 4, 5, and 10.
Hit a little bit too thin, so the cue ball retained a little more speed than she anticipated and did not get behind the 10 ball.
Just a slight stop shot, maybe a tiny bit of draw. Oh, went to the rail instead, but now she's straight in on the 2. Going to have to work a little harder to get shape on the 3. Four ball's also a little bit of a problem.
Good angle here. This leads easily to the center of the table, 2 cushions.
Does the 4 ball pass the 5?
It's hard to tell from here, but we'll be able to tell based on the way she plays position here. It looks like it must. She didn't seem too concerned about it.
Looked like she tried to hit the 4 and 5.
You know what she does? When she puts topspin on the cue ball, she still aims center ball or just below and allows the clock to put the topspin on there, and that dramatically affects your ability to control the speed of the balls. That's not something that I recommend, despite the fact that we'll put follow on it ultimately. When you're close to an object ball, then it doesn't take off right away. Well, she missed a shot. It appears that Ava may be at least partially hooked.
She might be able to see a little paint on this. Is she thinking about jumping this?
She's measuring it. She's looking at the kick. Everything is so iffy. If she can just fan the side of the 4, I think that would be the way she plays it. And apparently she can. Try to bring the 4 ball down here on the end cushion. Let the cue ball go back down table. Oh, she nicked the 8 ball for a foul. 6 ball falls in. Six balls left on the table, ball in hand. Good shot there. Stun the cue ball back to the center of the table.
Little stop shot here.
Eight balls hanging over the side here. 9 ball near the corner pocket. 10 ball kind of where it originally started, down into the center of the rack. Well, she didn't play much of an angle here. I don't know why she wouldn't have worked a little harder with that previous shot. Now she's going to have to make a stroke.
Now she'll have to go 2 rails with the cue.
She's
going to attempt to draw this? Wow, she's got a powerful stroke.
Well, she's that straight.
Okay, she had a little bit of an angle. She could use a little bit of side spin with it to help get the cue ball down the table.
Pinball finds the middle of the pocket, and with that stroke, Ming Chen takes the lead, 1-0. A lot of talent yet in this room. The tournament's winding down. This is day 3. There's killers on every table. Men's event running concurrently with the women's event. Way out there in the arena, I see Efren Reyes playing. Ralph Souquet is playing. There's Laura Smith. Bustamante, Ronnie Wiseman, we've got players all over the place. 26 tables. Beautiful venue, championship conditions. Here's our first look at Ming Chen's break. I approve. A lot of power, hit him pretty square. A couple balls found the mark. Two and the three lodged up kind of funny. That makes this rack very complex. If she could get past the two balls, she would have a chance to go ahead and run out.
She may be forced to shoot this combination here. I don't know if she'll be able to make that. Yeah, that's what she's looking at.
She can play for it despite the fact that she really needs to get good on it to play it, because she can easily play a safety. Boy, she hit that good. Nice shot there. She's turned to Ava and called the three ball. Here's what happens for you, those of you just joining us. If you luck a ball in, you do not get to continue your inning, but your opponent can either take the table as it is or pass it back to you and force you to continue play. These rules make safety play much more of a powerful tool. I like the way she hit that too. Two ball went a little further than she would have liked.
As did the, yeah.
Now this is a tricky one. It's hard to play safe here. She may be forced to play offense, as distasteful as it would be.
Well, look, she may have to. I can't believe you'd have to try the two ball bank in the side pocket. That would.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I mean,
the only other choice would be to either kick at it or play the two cushions across corner. That way,
yeah.
Allow you to. Well, she's playing at one cushion. So
I guess
she must
it'll
have a little
pass
more
the
room.
9.
Yeah, she has a little more room than we can see from here. Then she's not worried about scratching in the side from our vantage point. Looks like that would be a challenge. Yeah, and she overcut it, so we know that scratching the side was not a big threat. Left very little for Ava other than a safety.
May try to go hide behind the 9 if she's got enough angle to do that, but she may not be able to do that. And if she can't do that, another sort of weak safety is shoot that two ball towards the side rail. Let the cue ball float out. That's going to be so weak, though.
I think she's going to go with your first shot.
Yeah.
Well, she's looking at pocketing it past the 9. Changes your mind again.
She could hit it softly, and very softly, and just let the two ball hit a rail, and don't worry about the cue ball hitting a rail.
She might be. Oh no, she just.
Oh, she was able to.
Shot. Yeah.
Almost able. Yeah, she was able to get behind the 9. Nice.
Got some distance. Put the cue ball on the rail. Looks like the 9 ball at least partially blocks her access to the 2. Find out momentarily. Yeah, she's kicking, but she didn't call anything. It's not a good idea. Even though, oh, she was able to play it straight on. Okay, wasn't as good a safety as we thought, but that was still a nice shot. It required quite a bit of accuracy to hit that one in. What helped was that the position laid very natural.
No penalty for calling a shot.
Right. If you're going to kick at something, you might as well call it. Even if you don't expect to get it, just on the eventuality that you accidentally get one.
A little low left. Hold the cue in towards the middle of the table. She's coming all the way across. Yeah. She's got a little decision to make. Shoot the ball in the corner. Or, there you go. Nice shot there. Float the cue ball over to the left side of the table with a little draw. I think she's got an angle to do that. Nope, no angle, just drew it straight back.
And as the 10 ball finds the bottom of the pocket, Ming Chen expands the lead 2-0. I have to tell you, Joey, I could not be more impressed with Ming's technical proficiency with her stroke. Stays very still over the ball, gets through the cue ball nicely, good finish, very smooth on her transition. Kind of an economical swing, a compact swing, if you will. There's not much motion. There's very little vertical energy, but all horizontal. Either she naturally came by that or she's well trained.
I think she's won a few national championships in China, and I think she's 19 years old.
Oh boy, yeah, that's pretty darn good. Something like this, a big event, World Championship event. Oh, yeah. One ball hangs up.
Ming doesn't look the slightest bit nervous. Seems to be very confident at the table, but not overconfident.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see her in the finals.
This is a manageable layout, not an easy layout. It's always one of these things, if you can stay in line, it's not too bad, but as soon as you get out of line, this will become murderous. So she's queuing up to go 2 cushions to the center of the table. That's a pretty standard position route. We call it often.
So easy to get out of line on this 4 ball and not be able to follow through and creep up on the 5 ball and shoot it directly into the pocket. Might be forced to shoot this combination on the 5-9.
Yeah, she can later cue out there as if she wants to get to the center of the table off the 4 ball to play the 5-9. That means she's going to try to leave the cue ball on the long rail there.
And does so.
There she marked the table for us where she expects the cue ball to be, or would like to be. Very nice tempo to her stroke. For those of you watching at home, watch the transition from backswing to foreswing. She looks to Ava to declare the 9 ball into the corner pocket. Just off angle enough, it really requires your best effort here and complete focus. Yeah, she's going to take a second look at this. This is pretty much the win or lose shot of this rack. Good speed, too. She didn't overhit it. That allowed her to take a little bit shorter swing and maintain a little bit more tip control through the shot, which increases accuracy as well. Naturally, with any sport, power and accuracy are the diametrically opposed forces. Great ball speed there. You know what, Joey? She's really handled this rack nicely. I mean, this very professional-looking run out here to make it look this simple.
Well, she does everything extremely well. It's hard to find fault with anything that she does.
No, right? Gorgeous run out.
I'd be curious to know how many hours a day she practices.
Looks like a good bit. And that's really well played. That's a break and run out. First one of the match. She expands her lead 3-0. Well, no, then Ava broke that rack. So, that's right. Yeah, Ava broke, didn't make the ball, and she ran out.
Yeah, Ava won the lag. And Ming breaks on even games. This is game number 4. Is there some type of a weight or some type of a marker on Ming's Predator break cue? What is that little red? Maybe that's her country's colors.
It could be a sponsor. It looks like it might be a sponsor thing.
Oh, no, I see what it is.
Oh, it's the break.
A little
it's
slip.
a slide, yeah.
Yeah, it's a slip. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's interesting. I'll tell you, in humid conditions, I've burned my hand breaking hard, so maybe that's what that eliminates.
Well, I saw Ivica Putnik playing. He's from Croatia, and he was using a slide as well.
Well, we saw the magic rack disturb the 5-ball there. It was coming all the way down the table, hit the edge of it, kind of tilted to the right. There's very little bearing in the outcome in this rack. That is the one drawback to this laying on the table.
Well,
occasionally will.
I think that the magic rack needs to be removed after the break every single time, because I've seen several games where the path of the object balls and cue ball have been altered because of the magic rack laying on the table, and that's changing the outcome of the game, and there's no need for that.
But in this case, unless the referee was standing right there, it was on the break, so he'd have to do it while the balls were moving.
Oh, no. And after the break is the only time I'm talking about that,
Oh, overcut this a little bit. But safe. Ava looks a bit displeased with this turn of fortune.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get that cue ball airborne with a jump shot with the angle that she's got.
Seems to be impractical. We need a Joey A one-pocket kick bank here for safety.
Yeah, well.
No, you say.
That's a little beyond my ability, I'm afraid.
Well, she's looking at it anyway. I don't think she wants to go in there deep behind. Well, I guess she could. If you can get behind the 1-2 cushions, that's okay. If you can't, then that one cushion kick bank where you put the cue ball back to the breaking end of the table and leave the 1 ball. Move it just towards the center of the end rail here, where it's resting.
The problem with this shot, kicking this, the 1 ball's almost a whole ball's distance off from the rail. Now, looks like she's not kicking off the side rail. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, very nice.
That turned out extremely well. The way Ming plays, she's liable to swing at banking this 1 ball.
Wish she had to do a lot of work there to get safe, and she did it very nicely. Had some great distance there. Was able to maneuver the cue ball about 4 feet ahead with the 4 ball in between the 4 ball and the long rail there with power, and there's only about a 4-inch gap, so that was well struck, well played. This is the elimination bracket. I wonder who beats Ming the way she's playing now. It seems to be a formidable challenge for the best.
You're right about that.
Something interesting about pool in the Asian countries, the sport of pool is looked on much more favorably in the general public's eye, and they have billiard academies where kids go to get their billiards prowess as well as their academics. And it shows, you look at the volume of great players that come from Asia right now, and you can see, and it's expanding and proliferating.
I think you're trying to do your part here in America in that respect as well.
Yeah, what Joey's talking about. I have a collegiate billiards program. Wasn't at my urging. They contacted me about it, but when they told me how they wanted to run it, they wanted a first-class program, and we'll support it financially to the tune of including scholarshiping my student athletes, not pool players, but student athletes. And so, should anyone be academically qualified to go to college and be interested in a scholarship, they would just simply need to go to lindenwood.edu. Learn a lot about the program. It's a pretty neat thing. They're building a brand new billiards arena. Next, the 27th of this month, we go to Phoenix for the Collegiate Billiards Nationals. 5 of our players will be qualified to go and play in that. The school's funding all that. Once again, Ming Chen chops through another nice layout here, making it look effortless. This is a great exhibition of how to play pool right here.
Ming plays flawless. I'm going to check the board after this match to find out who did beat her. I'm sure it's going to be one of the top female pros.
Just a 10-ball away from a 4-game lead. She collects that game. She's 4/7 of the way to the finish line. And the math starts to conspire against you too. So for Ava to win now the match, she would have to go ahead and beat Ming 7-2.
Alternating break format doesn't favor that happening either.
Here we get a good look at Ming, sitting down relaxed, very, very focused. When you look at her mental game, it's just as smooth as her physical game. Ava needs to be productive for sure on this break. Her risk falling further behind.
Hit this one ball square and keep it on the table, away from the side pockets, corner pockets. Ball got loose on her. Lost a lot of energy in that break.
Good point. Yeah, the lack of a square hit allowed the cue ball to retain a lot of energy, so she didn't get to dissipate the balls around the table as often or as much, distance-wise, and less chance for them to find a pocket. Looking at what would happen if she sent the cue ball into the 10.
Well, she was right. I didn't think she'd run into the 10, but she did. Now we may just see a little safety here. Got a couple of choices to make here. Could hit it extremely thin and just go behind the stack of balls that you see. And she does. Ava's got an opportunity to, she's going to be able to kick at the foot rail. I don't think she's got anything else to kick at. Try and keep the cue ball near that cluster of balls, the 10, 7, 3, 9. But she's got to hit it with a little speed because the 2 ball's got such a far distance to travel.
Yeah, she's got to get to a rail.
Yeah.
No assurance that you won't run into some other ball and slow it down further, so you're going to have to use a little bit of power here. two balls far enough from the end rail, to just a little over a diamond away, that you can't be real cute and play a real accurate kick save here. You kind of just have to fight to make a square impact on the two.
Whoa, that turned out well. The 5-ball, if it had fallen into that side pocket, Ming would have the opportunity to give the table back to Ava. It didn't happen, so Ming will be trying to hit this 2-ball, which doesn't look like an easy task. She's going to try a little carom off in the 9 in the side pocket. Kick carom. Nice.
5-ball could help.
Whoa, almost cut it
So
into the
clean.
pocket. Now, I don't think we're going to see Ava turn the table back over to Ming, even though Ming did pocket a ball by accident.
Call shot game. There you see our first time where that comes into effect. Just informed now that Guy Young Kim was the person that beat Ming 7-3.
Oh. Another super talent. I believe, I remember that Guy Young Kim had gone to Stan Shufford's school in Kentucky. Trained with him for a couple of days.
How recently was that?
Pardon me?
How recently was that?
Oh, no, it was quite a ways back.
Was it?
Yeah, a few years. Maybe 3 or 4, I'm guessing.
I see. I think she called the 6-ball here on a combination. I could be wrong. No, she was playing the 6-ball. Well, this is just what happens. The balls just will not favor Ava at all. She just cannot get a good shot to kind of get a little momentum going. And Ming has played very, very well throughout, but the couple of opportunities or open innings is yet to leave much.
Ava's going to try and hide behind the 6-ball, but that spin on the cue ball will make it take off like a rocket. And she was fearing that and didn't hit it with enough speed to make it hide. So,
yes, Ming even has a little bit of an angle. They'll try to traverse down near the 3. Looking at possibly playing the 3 all the way back up into the corner past the 6-ball, where she's got the cue ball behind right now. Possibly in the side as well. That's a tough angle. She calls it in the side.
we'll probably be doing the same thing on the 5-ball, opposite side pocket, if she makes the 3.
Very narrow pockets, and finally he comes to the table with a decent shot.
It's been a drought for Ava.
Well, that's what happens at the higher reaches of the professional pool matches. You don't get that many opportunities. There's not a lot of open innings. It's not like with amateurs, you might get a shot of this nature 3 or 4 times in one game.
Right. A lot of the players have had trouble with the speed of the cue ball travel on the TV tables, with the lights drying up the cloth and allowing the cue ball to, and the rest of the object balls, to move rather swiftly across the table, especially the cue ball. Well, Ava made a nice shot on the 5, but came up with a difficult shot on the 6-ball.
Can she back cut this ball? She'll have to very
Well, it's
thinly raise
possible,
it.
but a low percentage shot, I think. And she makes it look easy. Oh, and then gets barbecued with a scratch in the corner pocket. No love for Ava today. Great shot on the 6th ball, but punished for it.
You ever played in any of the Asian countries?
No. When I was in the Marine Corps, I did travel to the Philippines, and unfortunately, I made a vow not to play any pool while I was in the Marine Corps. I did a little gambling at pool and before I had joined the Marine Corps, and well, it's not, it's sometimes creates a little animosity and a little problems gambling, and I just decided to not play any pool while I was in the service and abstain from it completely. Probably the only time in my life that I quit pool completely.
10 ball hits the heart of the pocket, and Simming expands her lead 5-0. So, a fighting man unwilling to play pool because there might be a fight.
No, because because you want pals with you when you're in combat. You don't want guys to say, well, he beat me out of my money. I wonder if I should give him a hand.
So where would that have been? Like you were in the Philippines in Olongapo, or
yeah, I went to
Subic
Olongapo, Subic Bay. No, I didn't go to Manila.
Yeah.
Went to Hong Kong for a few days with the Navy. Spent a couple of weeks in Japan with some cold weather training. Tour duty in Vietnam. And that was about it. Pretty quick.
What year were you in Vietnam?
1970.
Well, that was still a bad year. It was right when it was kind of winding down, but
Yeah.
the probably 65 or 66 through 70, those were the years that we lost all the troops.
Yeah, that's the year that my brother was there, and luckily he made it back. He spent 2 tours of duty in Vietnam, 27 months. I don't know how he did it. I figured that he had made it through 27 months there. I wanted to join the Marine Corps, and I knew that Vietnam was a distinct possibility. I figured if he could make it 27 months, I could make it 1 tour, so I gave it a shot. Little did I know how dangerous it really was.
Was he a Marine as well?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, that's what happens in the Marine Corps. They're going to wherever the action's hot. Today's era.
Did we see some luck coming? No luck for Ava.
In today's era, if you say you're a Marine, you've for sure been to Afghanistan and Iraq.
True enough. Maybe more than one time, too, each. It's pretty incredible. All these guys are volunteers these days. I volunteered to join the Marines simply because I wanted to support my country's interest. I didn't realize that the interests weren't quite what I perceived. That was back in the day when America was hell-bent on stopping the spread of communism. Now the communists are our friends and allies and business partners.
Nice kick there.
Oh,
That worked out okay.
yeah, that's going to be very difficult for Simming to make. She's looking at it like she can handle this.
Well, he was going to get another shot here. 4 and 5 along the long rail. A little bit tricky. Yeah, Longapo and Subic Bay is right there next to Angeles City, and you know who comes from there.
That's right.
Probably a good thing you were playing pool at that time.
Yeah, I would have been one of the GIs to lose his cash.
Don't feel bad. They would follow me to the hotel room and say, "I like to play you." I'd say, yeah, I may or I may not. I'm not sure yet. Oh,
You were in the service?
no, I was over there playing pool.
Oh, in what year?
I was over there with that friend. It was probably in the mid-'90s.
Oh, okay.
He,
How'd you do?
just like he told me I would. He says, "You're not ready." He was right. Any kind of an American that goes to the Philippines and wants to play pool for money, to the Filipino players, you look like a walking ATM machine.
Mm-hmm.
And they follow you around, and I would lose to 4 or 5 of them, be tired, hot, sweaty. They would follow me to the hotel and say, "I like to play you." And I said, "Listen, I'm going to go upstairs and sleep, take a little rest. I'm going to get something to eat. If I feel okay, I might play you, I might not. But I'm not guaranteeing you anything, you vultures." And they would say, "That's okay. You go upstairs, sleep a long time. I wait here for you."
That's telling you something.
Yeah. And at the time, I was in the top 25 over here. I thought I was kind of okay.
Yeah.
Efren, I said, "Efren, you think if I come there I could win any money?" He tried to figure a way to say it nicely. And he scratched his chin and said, "You're not ready."
But maybe you come there and get ready.
No, it was true. Oh, boys, there's so many great players. I learned so much. It was one of the best adventures of my life, I would have to say. And certainly owe a great debt of gratitude for the rest of my life for what Efren showed me while I was there for a month.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think Ava might have a chance to make this 3-ball. Ming taking a quick look at it as well.
Nice shot.
Okay.
Always that first shot of every inning is always the one to get any momentum. If you miss it, your opponent feels like they never gave up the table, and they're confident, and it doesn't help you at all. So you've got to cinch that very first shot. Then you can start to play position.
Yeah, the arm starts to feel like it's got a little power, a little strength to it, a little consistency where you start measuring the shot a lot more, a lot better.
Well, you feel like you're in the match there, right? You're just the rack person.
Yeah.
My father didn't know anything about pool. Didn't much care until I was involved in it. But Ava Lawrence is his all-time favorite player, which did hurt me pretty deeply, by the way. Can't say that I blame him.
That's right. Ava's got many fans all over the world. She's not only a great player, but she's a classy lady as well.
That's right. Great representative of our sport.
And
Check
she gets
there.
on the board 4-1 now, 5-1. We have some payouts. I was just going to announce to the listening audience, the viewing audience. The prizes for the women: first place are $11,500, second place $6,300, third place $4,000, fourth place $3,000, fifth and sixth $2,500 each, seventh and eighth $2,000 each, 9th through 12th $1,500 each, 13th through 16th is $1,100 each, and 17th through 24th are $900 each, 25th through 32nd $700 each.
I commend them for paying back that deep. That really makes this a really viable event for a lot of players. And rather than just put it all in first place, I think that helps to proliferate the sport.
I've been a strong advocate of paying deep in the tournaments. 25% of the field is a minimum, in my opinion. I think that's good for the sport. You know, a lot of the top players seem to, you know, not want that because they naturally want the bigger paydays. But you know, everybody has to have a little love. You know, and you know, paying deep like this inspires other aspiring players to compete in these events. You know, help cover some of their expenses, right. And just spread the love around.
Well, even this is not what it really needs to be, but if you pay
True.
deep, it's much easier to have another successful event behind this.
That's right.
And so maybe in the big picture, you're better off to pay it this way, even if you are a top player, because you're going to get more shots at 11,000.
That's right.
Maybe go for 20,000 one time, and then have a third of the field not get paid that is getting paid presently.
That's right. The more players there are in the tournament, the better it is for the top players, and that's something that they don't always see.
Right. Well, also the venue and the sponsor. Everybody benefits with more players in here, even the vendors.
And if you don't give some of the lesser players a chance to cash in the tournaments, they sometimes get a little disgusted and say, well, what's the use? What's the sense in it? So,
well, our sport is unlike a lot of other sports where we chronically eat our young, so alienate them from it, nurture them along.
Yeah. Ming got straight in on the 7-ball.
Yeah.
Going to have to put a little work in to get closer to the 8-ball. Let's see what she does with this.
Effortlessly gets it to the center of the table. No, she's playing good. This would be to put herself on the hill. She was to collect these last 3 balls. Well, this would be nice. We can see a little bit longer draw stroke. She hits them so smooth.
Let's see how far she draws this cue ball back, if any.
Just past the side pipe would be great. You get to see a nice fluid transition with her backswing here. Beautiful. Perfect. No need to overdo it. Just get back there with the cue balls free of the rail. Very good with her rhythm. Puts herself on the hill and leads the match 6-1. Tell us a little bit about the men's prize fund here, John.
Yeah, well, the men's first place money is $23,550. Second place, $14,250. Third place, $10,100. Fourth place, $7,550. Fifth and sixth, $6,275 each. Seventh and eighth, $3,350. Big drop there from 5th and 6th to 7th and 8th, and a very small drop from 4th to 5th and 6th. 9th through 12th is $2,550. 13th through 16th, $2,050. 17th through 24th, $1,700. 25th through 32nd, handsome $1,225.
So that's really good because any of those top 4 prizes are awesome for men's pool. But moreover, just what you were saying, that's better than a third of the field and half the field in the women's event. So I think that's a very fair number to shoot for. You start paying half the field.
That's right. Yeah, Badi Nazad has been very generous in providing $100,000 of added money for this event, as well as putting on a great venue.
And out of his pocket, I might add. It's not sponsors' money. That's his own personal money. So that really deserves further attention and note.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Badi remaining in pool and involved with pool. I think he's done a great job at the Ultimate 10-Ball Championships. This is his 3rd effort, and I think that I'm hoping that there'll be more in the future.
Well, I've heard nothing but good things from the players this week regarding the way the running of this event has been.
Mm-hmm.
On all sides of the ledger. Great venue, great equipment, great added money, very organized. Everybody likes the rules.
I noticed that we've got a little change in music. I like that. A little more classical music in the background. Instrumental music. I prefer instrumental music to lyrics and so forth. For playing pool, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, she's called the two up in the corner. This will be a good test. Very smooth transition, backswing to foreswing, nice speed.
Ming is a real talent. She's, a lot of players might have tried to get a little closer to that 3-ball and failed to pocket the 2 in the process, but she took the longer shot on the 3-ball, and she's still at the table.
Isn't that the essence of pro pool, is not turning the table over on an unforced error?
Ouch.
Look at how this worked out. Well, Ava's going to be kicking at the 3-ball now.
And she's got to kick at it with a little speed, because I don't think she's going to be able to pocket that 5-ball or that 4-ball if she's sitting in the pocket. And then she runs the risk of following the 3-ball in if she does make a solid hit on it.
Bridging over 2 balls. This is really awkward.
Well, she hit it with a little speed, came up short.
That's a ball in hand here. Ming Chen on the hill. Joe, you have a great voice for broadcasting. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, you sound
No one's ever told me
professional.
that.
Well,
I'm just kidding. Thank
Oh,
you.
I see.
It's very kind of you.
I see. You're being facetious. That means everybody's told him.
Jay Helford, one time I was at a tournament in North Carolina playing in the One Pocket tournament, and I think it was Inside Pool Magazine was looking for someone to do some commentary, and I was playing in the event, and it was towards the middle of the event. I'd already gotten knocked out, and Jay said, well, you ought to ask Joey if he'd like to sit in the booth. And they did, and I sat in the booth, and I had a lot of fun. My very first time out, made some commercials for Inside Pool Magazine, and it's been a little hobby of mine for a while.
Yeah, you put a lot of passion into it as well. I'm happy to see that you feel that way about it.
Well, listening to you do commentary has been a real privilege for me. You have a different style. I especially like the way that you talk about the different fundamentals that the players are using and how effective they can be in the game. People listening to your commentary can certainly improve their pool game just by listening to you talk. So I'll be taking notes from you and trying to employ them in my commentary in the future.
Those are kind words, but always it's been not about me, but I would like to proliferate the sport, and without some education as to what you're actually seeing, just watching the balls plop in, it gets to be quite hypnotic and boring. So if you know what's going on, it's more interesting as we see Ming Chen close out the match. Very smooth run out there. Not much you can say for Ava's performance. She just didn't get much of a chance to perform.
True enough.
So this is, we're going to wrap it up. We've got more live coverage all day. That concludes that match, but there'll be many more exciting matches throughout the day, all the way up till near midnight. So on behalf of Joey Auguzin, Mark Wilson, see you soon.
See ya.